A data is meaningful if information, we have connected information with it. This 10, 20, 30, 40 can be the number of students in each section. In CS1 section, 10 students, CS2, 20, 30, and 40. It can be the age of the lion also, as some participant has given the answer. If it is the age of lion, then in that case, our perspective for looking for the data is changed. And if it is the attendance of the section-wise student, we immediately infer the information that CS student has less attendance, but the mechanical student 40, they are attending the session regularly and they are attending the classes regularly. So the data is just a integer value, numeric value, or it can be a categorical value, it can be a alphanumeric value. But when we attach the information to it, this data got the meaning. When the data meaningful is data there, then it is known as information. So when we talk about, so now I'm going to start my presentation. I got the views from all of you. Some has written consists numerical data. Data does not mean that it is always a numerical data, or it may contain the numerical data. If we are talking about the natural processing, that in that the context, we have the strings in our data. Numeric data is very less. So consist of numeric data is not the data. Data is anything can be a data. What we are viewing is you are viewing to me. For you, it can be a video, somebody speaking. For me, it can be a session that I'm taking. So my importance is how I'm going to take the session. So data is always there, but the information attached to data makes it meaningful. Otherwise, there is no meaning of the data. So in today's scenario, we are getting lot of data available from the social media, from various point of context where we are getting the information, data. And this data is increasing day by day, and it is predicted that by 2025, the data is in by zettabytes. So in that case, we need to understand the importance of the data first and how this data can be utilized for getting more meaningful decision. That is the concept of the deep learning and machine learning. Earlier, this machine learning, deep learning coined in 1969, but that time we don't have resources or we don't have hardware to store the data. So the data was not there. So unavailability of data, it could not do so much in that time. But after 2001 and 2002, when we have a cloud and we have very efficient hardware to store the data in distributed manner, the machine learning and deep learning come into the picture. So my topic is related to how this data is imported in the case of machine learning. So what as an MBA accreditor, I have set my objective and outcome I expect from all of you, that at least you should know the importance of the data at the end of the session and how we are going to clean the data, how we are going to select the features for your specified problem. And in that case, maybe the data features are very variant in the scale. So how do you transform the data? And one of the transformation of the data is features dimensionality reduction, where we can add the feature or we can reduce the feature based to improve our model. But I'm not going to cover it due to the lack of time. So we are living in the world where the data is everywhere. And this data is basically food for artificial intelligence. Because of this data, we can predict the future. In unavailability of this data, machine learning algorithm will not run. So the important thing, the backbone of the machine learning or deep learning or any application related to the smart application requires the data to be there. And it is not only the data, it is huge data is required for computing the algorithms and for computing the prediction. So this proverb is absolutely correct, that those who are having the data will rule the world. We can see the Twitter, we can see the Facebook owner, all are the richest person in the world. So when before going through the data, we must understand what is machine learning. Already my fellow colleagues has done this job wonderfully. But to just revise, when we write a program, in that case, the program is written and we give the input. Wherever we give the input, it will give the same result at any time. But when we talk about the machine learning, in that case, we are writing the code, we are giving the data, but data is also increasing day by day. So at the output, we are again improving our program, improving our data, and based on that, we are improving our prediction. This definition is already covered by the morning speaker, but I would like to give you the example of this. When we start learning the cycle, in initial phase, we are not able to drive the cycle or drive the car very efficiently. What we do, I just like to tell you, in our bachpan style, we used to control, balance our cycle first. Then we used to drive the cycle like catched cycle, in which we half pedal, half pedal, half pedal. Once I got the confidence on the half pedal, on that we drive the cycle with the full pedal. And after the full pedal cycle practice, we start driving cycle fluently. When to use brake, when to use, when to stop, everything is automatically done. So that is the experience we are getting. So in the same manner, when we talk about the deep learning or machine learning, we are giving some inputs to the machine. We are training the model. In training phase, it is like half catchy, full catchy, then cycling. And then as and when our model get efficient with the trained data, then we used to do testing. Like our parents used to do. They used to say, you started cycling, don't go outside of the colony. You need to drive cycle only in the colony. Once they see our confidence level, they give us the task. जाओ सामान लेकर के आ जाओ, शक्कर लेके आ जाओ किराने वाली दुकान से. Because they have seen the confidence in our cycle driving. In the same manner, we are developing the model based on the trained data. When the trained data is giving good result, that is our experience for the particular task, then we apply this model on the test data, and then we see the result, whether it is giving the correct result or not. If it is giving correct result, sometimes we need to validate the data with the validation data set. And after validating, we give the unknown inputs to the machine learning model. And based on that unknown model, we have developed the parameter we have used. Model gives us the predictions. Understand? So this definition says that we learn from the experience with respect to a particular class of task, and performance P is measured. If the performance improve with the experience then it is a machine learning. Got it? If the performance improve with the experience, like your performance of cycling will improve only when you are practicing it. Only where your experience improves. So here, experience in the case of deep learning or machine learning is your data. How your data is playing role to define a model. So important is data. So when to use machine learning and when not to use machine learning. If the problem is simple to me, I need to calculate the average salary of an employee or average salary of a department or maximum salary. In that case, the problem logic is clear to me. There is no need to use the machine learning or deep learning algorithm. But when there is no expertise exists, there is no explanation for this. Like there is no explanation. Everybody is going to die. But when we are going to die, what is my date of birth? We know, but we don't know. Year mein, pure saal mein, we don't know when we are going to die. But we can predict based on my lifestyle, based on my, that is always a prediction. Why it is prediction? We are not, any model cannot give you the 100% accuracy. It is always a prediction. System may change. System may change abruptly. Right now, my lifestyle is very like lavish. I'm not doing any kind of exercise. I'm eating junk food. I'm eating everything which may make me ill. But when I realized, I saw my parameters, I've started practicing all the yoga asana. I have started running and everything I have started doing. Now the prediction before that and after that will change. So the machine learning algorithm unable to explain whenever we apply machine learning algorithm, humans are not able to solve that problem. There are some patterns which are hidden in the data, which can be identified only by using the machine learning algorithms, and you can get a surprising result, which is the dark area of your business. But using machine learning and deep learning algorithm, you can increase the business also. So there are the many application we are using in nowadays, many application we are using for the machine learning. All the Alexa, you can observe some of those who are having the iPhone, they can observe that earlier the Siri, if you are using the Siri, it is not responding properly. Every instruction you have to give 2 or 3 times because they are not familiar with the Asian accent. They are familiar with the US accent, British accent. But as the number of iPhone increases in India, the information, the data is increases, the accent, Asian accent is stored somewhere, and that data is increasing day by day. Nowadays, the CV recognize your accent also within a 1 second. So the data, with the data, the machine is improving. Also in the Google Map, you can observe also in the Netflix, on the social media, where we are using this recommendation on the social network. Everywhere we are using machine learning, but we are of digital learn how we can use this algorithm in our day-to-day application also. So when we talk about a machine learning problem, what I want to do from this data. Suppose I have a data of admission from since our Acropolis colleges. When the Narendra Modi has declared the lockdown 22nd of March, the stock market एकदम डाउन हो गया था. It is just because कि unpredictable things happen in the data also, and which cannot be predicted. So this is the case. So when we define a machine learning model, we talk about the problem. What is my problem to define? That is, if I want to know that in Acropolis, what kind of students are getting admitted, from which region they are getting admitted, what is their mental status, if we take their percentage, their social behavior, their social networking, and everything, we can come to know the behavior and character of that person before he come into the class. So that my objective is clear. I want to know the mental status of that person. For that, I need to collect the data from various sources. I need to collect the data from the various sources. So I have defined the problem, prepare the data, then based on this prepared data, I train the model, and then I evaluate the model on the test data. And then after evaluating, if I find that my model is overfit or underfit, I again change my data set, or I improve my data set and again train the data and then evaluate. Once the evaluation is done properly, the model is ready for use for unknown data also. So I'm concentrating only on prepare the data, correct? So data I have already covered. It is a backbone of machine learning. Erroneous, incomplete data, missing data labels may lead to wrong prediction. Like we can have the data like person having the height 200 feet. It is not possible. So it is typo mistake. Body temperature 97 Fahrenheit. Instead of that, I have written 97 degree. It is again the human mistake. Oxygen level not mentioned. So maybe the missing data. Sometimes the data is entered, our observed data is correct, but it is not fitting to my, means observations are correct, but it is not fitting to my data set. So I need to handle that data also. So if you work on corrupted data, your model will not predict correctly. Its efficiency, its accuracy is less than 50 or 60%, which is not acceptable. If your data is correct or you have validated the data, your model efficiency will. So before going to the deeper into the data and cleaning of the data, we must understand the type of the data. We session we learned about supervised data, unsupervised data. So when we increase,